Unfortunately, that's what society judges success. Success is figuring this shit out. So that no matter whether you earn 20 grand a year, 100 grand a year, 3 million a year, whatever, it feels good. And it's possible. How you feel like you're just like sucked into everything and all this shit is just whatever. What did I turn around and say? You're in breakthrough. Like this is it. This is you're about to have the breakthrough.
Yeah.
At the point where you don't like it and you can't deal with it is the breakthrough. Everything is just the other side of that, which is why the world never gets the breakthrough, because they hit that point and then usually they make a phone call to somebody who goes, just be careful, James, because you're taking a little bit too much on. Just take a step back, James. You know, think about your health. Me, I'm 38, but now you've mentioned it. Yeah, I better. Do you think I should ask the doctor? Yeah, go and see the doc because you might be a bit stressed. Doc, I think I'm stressed. Yes, you are. Take the pills. Goes home to wife. Wife, I'm stressed. Oh, well, I think I am as well. I think I'll get a few of those pills and let's all be stressed and happy together.
Yeah.
See where it's going? Like, but then he rings me again, who can spot it, and just goes, "You're about to crack it." Am I? Yeah. Oh, okay, good. See you tomorrow.
I emailed 3 people at night, so I just felt really overwhelmed with my work. If I didn't ring my dad, if I rang my dad or my mum would be like, "Oh God, pack it up, you pack it all in, stop it, come and live back with me," and you'd have got all that. Or my dad had gone, "I told you," whatever. I emailed 3 people I knew would be able to spot me, what I'm doing, and just get me through that bit. And Paul was one of them, and 2 other people as well. No fam, I wanted to be with my brother, because I know what response I'd have got. I didn't want to email someone for sympathy. I wanted to email people who said, "Get a f***ing grip, you're nearly there, let's crack on." And Paul was one of them. You don't get any sympathy from Paul, but you're going to get someone who will say, "You're nearly there, just step here, step there, and you're nearly through it." But you know, sometimes when you're in the middle of it, when you're in the thick of something, you can't quite see your way, navigate your way through the last bit, and you just need someone to say.
And that, by the way, is where everybody gets to. Almost. Then it felt uncomfortable, then it felt like a challenge, then it felt like, oh, you know, what if this doesn't work? Am I going to look silly? F this, I'm off. I'll try another one. And the way I got explained it to me, it was like, if you go for let's say you're training for the Great North Run, right? At every point, every week, you'll get to 6 mile and go, this is too painful, I'm going to have to stop. And if you stop, what happens every week? You never get past 6 mile. But what if you just go, okay, next week I need to get to 6.5, and that last half is going to be so painful, it's going to be unbelievable, but I'm going to get through it. Because then next week I'm going to get to 7, and then that extra half is going to be like so painful, it's going to be unbelievable. And then before you know it, you're at 10. And it's like that last 9.5 to 10 is so painful, it's been unbelievable. But then you go home and you go, 4 weeks ago I couldn't get to 6 mile. It's the same in life and in business. Like, the brain is just a muscle, and the brain can, like, right now, all the shit that's going on in his head, he's conditioning his brain to deal with shit. I don't think you're lacking direction, your brain is just struggling to deal with it.
Yeah.
But then you deal with it, and it's like, bring it on. And then the next time, you'll take twice as much on. Yeah. But then you go through the same pain at the next level. So I'm going through the same pain now, like at £1 million business, as I was at 100 grand business. It just feels the same, or like all the way. And then it contracts, and it's like, okay, I've dealt with it, I've figured it out. Now I want to get to 2 million. Like, I've just come in this morning and told you, like, I need 2 years now of just like that stuff, and it's going to absolutely kill me. It's going to be like sludge going into my brain. Do not want to do it. I know it's going to hurt like hell. Be like training for the London Marathon instead of the Great North Run. But I'm going to have to do it, and I know what's going to come. I know the fight. I know my brain's not going to want to do it. It's going to find any excuse not to go, not to have the conversation, not to read the book, not to do whatever. But I also know that's what went on when I first started learning marketing and sales 4 years ago or 3 years ago. It's like, do not want to be here, do not want to be on the flight, do not want to be in this room. And then it just gets a bit easier, and then it contracts, then it comes back, then it contracts, then it comes back. And the guy that wins is the guy that can figure that out, the guy that can live with that, the guy that can not look at it as chaos. It's your brain just dealing with a new level of input that it's never had before. And you are about to, like, to get the other side of it, and when you do, it's much better. Your kid come home from school and say, oh mum, I'm just a bit, I'm a bit overworked right now. Oh, okay son, well stop doing what you were doing. Stop getting on that path that's got you so close to the thing you wanted. Come away from it. Oh, okay mum. So how is your brain ever going to get comfortable to like achieve? Because every time you were stressed or whatever you think you are, which you're not, it's just your brain figuring out more information than it's currently able to deal with, which is no different to a hamstring or a quad or a calf or an Achilles. Because again, you talk to this lot, they don't understand it. Why don't they understand it? Because apparently there's no opportunity anymore to go and figure it out. Like these things called books and the internet and like people who know all of this stuff, but apparently they're not accessible from Hartlepool. Bullshit. 1 billion% bullshit. Fucking X Factor's accessible. This ITV 4 or whatever, and watching, repeat and catch up and on demand and whatever else. All this shit's accessible. 24/7 on the train last night coming home from Birmingham. Fucking hell, like unbelievable what people are watching. Like you can access that shit when you want. You can access the shit, what's going on up here. Make sense? It's just muscles, that's all it is. And where I was going with that, same with you, you went through it. That's why I don't get... Yeah, you do, because your brain can't cope with it. Yeah. That's why the reason I don't get mad when you do that is because I know exactly what's going on. Mm-hmm. To the T, exactly what is going on. If I didn't understand it, that's where I'd be going, just fucking do it. Why won't you just fucking do it? I know why she won't do it.
Yeah, that's what's good here, because everyone's got a positive spin on a hissy fit. Do you know what I mean? I've never known that.
It's not. And again, because they don't understand it. You have guys, and I mean, I'm not even going to say it, but you have guys who are running successful businesses who haven't got a clue. They were just very good at what they did, but they're making 100 grand a year, one day away every day from the cardiac ward. Going home every night needing a bottle of wine to undo that. That's not success. That's not being good at what you do. Like,
it's making me laugh because my ex-boss has just done a quadruple half bypass.
Well, and the other one did 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because he cancelled a session on me, okay? The day he went in for it. Were you here then? It was in Church Street, it was Vicky. Vicky was in, yeah. He cancelled this session because he got rushed in. He was like, I can't come tonight. Gotta go and have a triple half bypass in the morning. I was like, oh, okay, no worries. Yeah. Point proved, because this tension builds when they see that from an employee. And you know what then goes on when they see that from you, right? Don't think for 1 second that conversation stops there. That conversation goes home at night at 7 o'clock with the wife. This fucking employee's fucking doing all this for them. We're giving them everything. We're getting new software, new systems. They don't even appreciate it. Get another bottle of wine in, and then the bottle of wine can get in, feels quite nice, and they come back in the next day, and the whole thing just starts again, and it goes on and on and on. For 40 years. That's how most business owners exist, because they don't take a day to understand this. In 99.9%, that's not success. That guy will be walking around town thinking he's a success, because society's put him on a pedestal. He's got 10 letters after his name. His kids look up to him and think whatever, and he can't figure. Big car, private reg,
buying a bottle of gravy,
whatever. Yeah, absolutely, and they do. Unfortunately, that's what society judges success. Success is figuring this shit out. So that no matter whether you earn 20 grand a year, 100 grand a year, 3 million a year, whatever, it feels fucking good. And it's possible.
Every client I've got, I talk about you guys. I was with a firm of accountants yesterday, 12 accountants, and when I'm sat there, they're stressed out, the business is all over the place, they have no idea what's going on, there's no systems, there's no processes, everyone's doing it all different ways. And I said, one of the biggest things you all need to do is to be continually improving and moving yourself forward. Tomorrow I'm going to Hartlepool, where I'll be working with Paul Gough Physio Rooms, where for 1/10 of their week, every single week, consistently, they invest in developing themselves and developing the business. They're constantly moving forward. And what I explain to these guys is, you're not staying where you are. No one's staying still. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. So if you think you're staying where you are, firm of accountants next door to you are going past you, so you are falling behind. So you've got to be committed to moving yourself forward. These guys are committed to moving themselves forward every week, and you guys are struggling to meet up here once every 3-4 months for 2 hours. You've got no chance. You can't do it.
Go back to the running analogy. So if I get myself to a point where I can, like I ran the Great North Run 4 years ago and I was able to walk out the door and run 13.5 miles without batting an eyelid. Could I do it today? Never in a million years. Because I didn't I'm not training for it. If I want to stay at that level, I have to train 3-4 times a week. If I want to get past it, I have to train 5 times a week. What the hell is different in business? It baffles me. It really, really baffles me how people run a business. And well, it doesn't. I don't even know why I use that word. I know why they don't do it, because they don't understand it. Again, because the way that it's been evolved, the busyness of life is easier to whinge about, that we haven't got time for that. The thing that you haven't got time for, the fact that you haven't got the time tells you it's the reason you need to do it. I went to, obviously down to Birmingham yesterday, and I met a guy for a coffee, and he said, you're more busy than ever these days. I was like, not really. But you want me to be busy. You assume that I'm busy. I was like, I can find an hour, I can have a day off if I want, I can, I choose to go to work, but I couldn't. If I wanted to, I'd have 3-4 days off a week. But why would I want to do that? Because I love what I do. But what that is them assuming that like you're busy, right? And then the guy who doesn't understand what he's saying thinks that what he's doing is wrong. So if I wasn't aware of that conversation, I could have got on that train and thought, shit, why aren't I busy? I should be busy. Let's make myself busy. Just get me some shit to do. And I know that's just his default pattern. That is the weather's bad conversation. He speaks to a business owner and assumes that I'm busy. Well, I am busy, but I also have a choice. If I don't want to be, and I come back with that exact phrase. Well, I am, but I don't have to be. If I want to have morning off, I'll take it off. If I want to go home early, I go home early. If I want to go on a train, if I want to meet you for a coffee for half an hour, we'll have a coffee. I'm not that busy. But everybody assumes that you are. So then you almost feel as though you have to be. And that's when you end up in the Ward 57 of the hospital getting this thing checked out. So it's powerful stuff, and it's pretty, it goes back to that first question. How do you deal with a negative client? Understand what the hell's going on. I can give you a script, but it's much better if you actually understand it, because then you don't need a script. You don't need to play it. You just be Sam. Just be a human being. Just be a genuine person who understands what's going on, which is, it's a sad time in the guy's life and you need someone to listen to. But if it is a crappy conversation about the weather and how bad the news is, let's switch it. And don't be frightened to say it. Listen, we have a choice. We can either sit and talk about how bad the weather is today, or we can talk about what you're up to at the weekend with your kids. What would you like to do? And they'll go, well, seeing as you've put it like that, that's what they'd say. Let's rock. Let's go.